What's up, guys? Before we jump into it, just want to let you know that there's a flash 30% off discount with code ESPRESSO over at gfuel.com. With new releases like Sour Faceberry and cans like Sour Blue Chug Rug out, if you're interested, now's as good a time as any to check them out. Links in the description below, but anyways, let's get back to the content at hand. As we round into what is going to be the third week of Modern Warfare's 4th season already, we're gearing up for a bigger update of some kind this week, and while it's not launch level like we saw a couple of weeks back with the start of Season 4, it is bigger than last week's lackluster update. So today, Activision and Infantry gave us a decent look at what to expect come tomorrow afternoon with said update. So today I want to break down what was detailed here with you and what we can see at a week at a glance for the upcoming 7 days in Call of Duty. But with that said, let me know your thoughts down below. What are you hoping to see in Modern Warfare and Warzone in the upcoming days or weeks with Season 4? And as well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare and Warzone on a daily basis. But anyways, let's jump into it. First things first, if you want to check out the full in-depth briefing, you can find the link down in the description below. The nice part about these blog posts that go up each Monday is that they don't just focus necessarily on Modern Warfare like we do here on the channel for the most part. If you're into the more niche things like Call of Duty Mobile or even some of the stuff upcoming in Black Ops 4 still, if you jumped back to that game, these blogs cover what's new in each of those games as well, not just the front-facing marketed game of Modern Warfare and Warzone. But for the sake of the video, that's what we're discussing here, but if you want to learn more, again, feel free to check the link in the description below. But anyways, when it comes to gameplay, we have a bit more of understanding as to what's upcoming with playable content in that of the playlist updates that will roll out this week. Firstly, we have All or Nothing, which that's a classic that's coming back to Modern Warfare. Like the classic in the games previously, you're outfitted with a throwing knife, which will also act as a combat knife, an empty handgun, and then minimal perks. Now, each kill you end up getting, you'll end up getting ammunition and perks along the way that string together so long as you stay alive. Now, while your goal is to get 20 kills total for the victory, of course, that becomes much easier as you keep your streak alive with ammo and perks, and also while you're ending other players' streaks who are still stuck then outfitted with a knife and an empty handgun. It's kind of a game of momentum, so keep it up as long as you can, and you'll be the ultimate victor. That's one that I'm looking forward to seeing return within Modern Warfare, and so this week, definitely going to jump it on and play some of that. Another game mode that was detailed was that of Chaos 10v10, a mosh pit of traditional 6v6 maps with 10 players per team. So personally, I'm all for this. I love the high action and intensity, so to see this come back in a broader perspective again, I'm all for that. And one thing that I kind of do hope does come back here at this is that I hope Shipment makes its way in this playlist, because unpopular opinion perhaps, the one brief 3 days or so that we had Shipment 24/7 go 10v10, that was probably one of my favorite variations that we've seen of Shipment here since launch. For some reason, I found the Chaos to actually be a little bit easier to read and anticipate than that of just, say, 5v5 or 6v6, and I absolutely loved it. A lot of the times, it was basically just like a tug of war, and so both sides kind of stuck to their own end, and you could pick off just the lanes rather than having to deal with rotations in a circular motion around the map as well. You could just kind of have a giant tug of war battle back and forth between who controlled 2 of those 3 lanes of the map. But anyways, that's getting a little bit too off course with that. 10v10 is going to be coming in a Chaos mosh pit here, which is super exciting. Then we have one that I am super excited for, that being Face Off. And this is one that I'm just so excited to see return because it's 3v3 just like the old days. It was only a matter of time, I think, before this happened. We saw 2v2, of course, introduced with Gunfight, and that was a big selling point all the way from the beginning, so much so to the point we had an alpha for Gunfight alone. And I think when we saw this as a selling point here, I'm sure a lot of you guys had the idea of, but what if they just made it like Face Off? And for those unfamiliar who didn't maybe play through the golden era of Call of Duty, in Modern Warfare, there was a 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 mosh pit called Face Off, where on smaller designated maps specific to those playlists, we saw game modes like TDM, Domination, and I believe Kill Confirmed, if my memory serves me, in a sort of team-based, smaller curation of play. Personally, I thought it was awesome. It was a cornerstone of Modern Warfare 3, and even though it wasn't perhaps the shining beacon of content that everybody may remember at first when they first think of Modern Warfare 3, it was a focus to the point that the entire Elite DLC model rolled out a new face-off map just about every single month. So to see that come back in the same shape and form in Modern Warfare 2019 this week, I'm all for this, and in some capacity, I do kind of hope it stays as a permanent addition. I think Face-Off's a great piece of COD history, so to have it be so close and then only aligned once in the first 8 months of the game, it's kind of bittersweet that we're finally seeing it, yes, but it's also taken so long. After that, we do have Infantry Ground War making a return here within Modern Warfare, which is Ground War but without the tanks, which is pretty awesome to me. The one they heavily fronted was that of Promenade, playing on that without a tank. Though there's only one tank spawn per team with that, and it's a very linear map that the tanks are only utilized on the outsides, so that might not be the ones that really catch your eye the most, but it is something that you'll be able to play around with also. Then jumping over to the Warzone side of things, not all that much has been detailed here, at least as the stuff that is live still right now. In the blog post we end up seeing listed in the game modes for Warzone this week are solos, duos, trios, and quads for Battle Royale, and then Plunder Blood Money quads is coming as well with this upcoming week and continuing on from what we had for right now. And additionally, Warzone Rumble is going to be continuing on, so that 50-50 mode isn't going anywhere just yet. But the interesting part is that there was some mention of Juggernaut Royale coming, one of those game modes that was listed at the very beginning of the season, and is something that was mentioned to be coming in season, but seems like it could be coming as of this week, because in a since deleted tweet by Call of Duty themselves talking about this blog post, putting it out there to a larger audience, the tweet said, "Your weekly briefing has arrived, with check marks next to Juggernaut Royale, All or Nothing, and the Gulag in Call of Duty Mobile, and to get the full breakdown at the link they provided." Now, all of that stuff is still live right now within the blog post, except for Juggernaut Royale. And at first I thought maybe this is just me misplacing the tweet in the many number of tabs that I had open at the time, but that actually wasn't the case. I went back and I saw the tweet still live from a Twitter feed that I had yet to refresh, and then whenever I clicked on the actual page, it said, "Sorry, that page doesn't exist." So the tweet has been consciously deleted, whether or not that's because it's coming later this week and it's not to be announced just yet, or it's something that's pushed back to maybe next week or the week after that or some other time within the season. That's something that we don't know just yet, but it's possible that it does come maybe say later this week in a Friday and weekend update. But we'll just have to keep our eyes open for that one because we have no definitive answer just yet. The only other stuff that was offered up here in terms of what we can look out for Modern Warfare this week dealt with the shop, and this is something that we now see another operator coming into the mix here, that being Gaz, the first of two mid-season operators being introduced. Presumably then, maybe say in 2 weeks, we have the mid-season update with all kinds of other content, and then 2 weeks after that, right before the end of the season, we see the second of the two mid-season operators of Rose being introduced. But I digress. With that, we end up seeing Gaz in the operator bundle here, presumably for 2,400 COD points, as all the other ones have been, but you end up getting Task Force 141 member Kyle Gaz Garrick as a playable skin. With this, you also end up getting 2 weapon blueprints of the Fair Brass and the Tanker, plus a blueprint for the Cali sticks of the Hit sticks. So if you didn't buy those, you didn't unlock that, you do have another option to get the Cali sticks via, again, blueprint unlock. And unlike other blueprints of weapons that you may not have unlocked, since there are no attachments here with this, you can simply just rank it up as normal. You can simply use it and not have to worry about, well, I can't use the gunsmith on this. But anyways, you can get that stuff for presumably, again, 2,400 COD points. The difference, though, with this Gaz bundle, it seems like, is there's also going to be challenges that come along with this Gaz skin, as opposed to where the other bundles that we bought for other operators have not had this. So it seems like Gaz will have probably 2 to 3 variations of his skin that you can unlock right off the bat, like you could with a battle pass character, like a Price or something like that. So that's pretty cool that we can see that happen here. But outside of that, there are 2 featured bundles that we know of here for this week. Whether or not a third one is introduced later on down the line, we're not entirely sure, but we'll see the Munchies bundle, which is the Delivery Boy SMG and the Order Up handgun blueprints, which if you look on COD Tracker, you can actually end up seeing what these blueprints are. And truth be told, this one's actually pretty cool. It's a Burger Town blueprint for both of these weapons. Is it something that I would necessarily use either of these? Not all that much, but it's still pretty funny of a camo and blueprint, but will be up on deck as well. But then we also have the Mega City Menace bundle, in which it's the Dynatron LMG for the Holger 26 and the Uncertain Features Striker 45 variant. Admittedly, we've actually gotten quite a few Striker 45 variants already, and there's still a couple of cool ones in the mix for what's in the game files already. So seems like Infinity Ward is really favoring the Striker 45 this season, but that's what we'll have on deck here for the shop updates as of tomorrow as well, and kind of does it for what was rounded out and previewed within this blog post. Now, how much will be coming alongside of this tomorrow, we don't exactly know. We won't until that update goes live. One thing that was said to be fixed in the next smaller update was that of the Warzone pre-game lobbies where you couldn't get any kills or anything. That's actually been a bug, though I think that might have been fixed as of Friday. But for those maybe expecting the weapon tuning that we talked about here in the last video, wouldn't expect that just yet. This isn't the mid-season update. Like we talked about, I'd expect the mid-season update maybe to be in 2 weeks here at that actual midpoint, and that's when we get a new weapon, a new map as well, weapon tuning, and all things alike. So that's the stuff that we have on deck, and just a little bit further of a wait for that bigger stuff. But anyways, that's the week at a glance here. So that's it. That's where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this here? Are you looking forward to anything in particular out of this week? Anything you're maybe not so much looking forward to? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. I live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.